USA v North Korea? Will the U.S. attack North Korea? Tensions have escalated after America sent an aircraft carrier to waters off the Korean peninsula in response to several provocative missile launches by Kim Jong-un's regime. North Korea's state-owned news agency KCNA quoted the foreign ministry as saying Trump's deployment showed reckless moves for invading that had now reached a serious phase. The statement added, "We will hold the U.S. wholly accountable for the catastrophic consequences to be entailed by its outrageous actions." Although the U.S. Navy strike group has been sent towards the Korean peninsula, Washington has previously leaned towards sanctions and pressure to deter North Korea. The U.S. is highly unlikely to launch an attack on North Korea because the move could possibly escalate tensions all the way to nuclear war. But the Trump administration is keeping all options on the table, with Donald Trump tweeting, "North Korea is looking for trouble. If China decides to help, that would be great. If not, we will solve the problem without them." Nevertheless, America recognizes that the importance of having a joint approach with China, which remains North Korea's most important trading partner and ally in the region. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said Donald Trump and Xi Jinping had extensive discussions around the dangerous situation in North Korea at a summit in Florida last week. President Xi clearly understands, and I think agrees, that the situation has intensified and has reached a certain level of threat that action has to be taken, he told CBS's Face the Nation. Mr. Tillerson did not elaborate on what those actions might be, but his comments suggest that the Trump administration's position may be hardening on North Korea's nuclear program. On Monday, China and South Korea agreed to slap tougher sanctions on North Korea if the country carries out nuclear or long-range missile tests, according to an official in Seoul. International tensions have been heightened after the U.S. president ordered missile strikes on a Syrian airbase in response to a deadly chemical attack by the Assad regime in Syria. Iran and Russia, key allies of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, have indicated that the U.S. strike on Friday crossed red lines and they would respond to any new aggression. North Korea is still struggling to develop nuclear-headed airborne missiles. It is fast increasing its underwater military power. The country possesses numerous submarines, which it has used with devastating effect in the past, with fears they are now being adapted to fire nuclear weapons. Even more worrying is the submarine's ability to disappear and avoid detection. In 2015 around 50 went missing, setting alarm bells ringing in Seoul and Tokyo. Former MI6 head Sir John Saunders has warned that tensions with North Korea were actually a much bigger threat to world peace than the war in Syria. If you are looking for a world crisis which could bring about the dangers of a clash between great powers, then North Korea is a bigger concern than Syria, he told BBC 4's Today program. I think what the Chinese are beginning to understand is that if this can't be solved peaceably through negotiations, through pressure, then there is serious risk that the U.S. will have only one option left, which is the military option. He said that the Americans have strengthened forces in the Korean peninsula, deployed a battle group and demonstrated that the U.S. was willing to use force against another state to uphold international order.